Hello children, in this lecture we will start discussion from alkenes. So alkenes are unsaturated hydrocarbons. The general formula of alkenes CnH2n means the number of hydrogen atoms in a molecule of alkene will be double of the number of atoms of carbon. Alkenes are also known as olefins. Then structure of alkenes. So as you can see here in this, in ethene, a molecular formula of ethane is C2H4 and the bond structure of ethene will be CH2CH2. So as you can see here in this structure, these two carbon atoms are bonded with one double bond and with two hydrogen atoms by single bond. Okay, so the central carbon atoms which are here are sp2 hybridized, and out of 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals, one is overlapping with sp2 hybrid orbital of other carbon. So one sigma bond is formed here due to the sp2 overlap. Now remaining two sp2 hybrid orbital, each is overlapping with s orbital of hydrogen atom. So in this way again sigma bond is formed, and this sigma bond is formed due to overlap of sp2 and s orbital. Okay, so this is sp2s sigma bond, this is also sp2s sigma bond, and same way this carbon is forming sp2s sigma bond and sp2s sigma bond. Now after this, these central carbon are having one unhybrid p orbital, and this unhybrid p orbital of these carbon will overlap sideways with each other, and due to this sideways overlapping, pi bond will form here between these two carbon atoms. Okay students, so as you can see here, so one pi bond, one sigma bond, and two these sigma bond with each carbon atom. So overall we can conclude that total number of sigma bonds in this structure are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, total sigma bonds are 5. So 5 sigma bonds total. Okay, so 2, 2 and 1. So out of these 5, one is CC sigma bond and 4 are CH sigma bonds. Okay, and one is pi bond. So total number of covalent bonds in ethene are 6, 5 sigma and 1 pi. Out of 5 sigma, 1 sigma bond is CC sigma bond, which is formed due to the sp2 overlap of hybrid orbitals. 4 CH sigma bond, and these are formed due to the sp2 and s orbital overlapping, and 1 pi bond, which is formed due to the overlapping of two unhybrid p orbitals of related carbon. Okay, so this is the structure of ethene, which is a alkene, and same way you can discuss the structure of other type of alkene also. Then after this, nomenclature. So according to IUPAC, all the alkenes are named with suffix "-ene", and in alkenes the functional group is CC sigma bond. Okay, so alkene of 2 carbon, so root word will be eth and suffix will be "-ene", ethene. This will be propene. Same way, in next page few more examples are given. So as you can see, this example. So in this example, this is the double bond here. Okay, so we will give preference to this double bond. So we can start numbering from this side or from this side. So from this side, 1, 2, 3. So this third carbon is having this double bond, and from this side 1, 2, 3, again third carbon. But as you can see, from this side chain is also available a little early in comparison to from this side. Okay, so overall numbering will be started from this side. So third position with ethyl group and double bond. Okay, so 3 ethyl, 4 methyl, this is 4 methyl, hex 3 in. Total number of carbons 6 in long chain, hex. Position of double bond 3 in. Okay, students. So in the same way, you can give or write IUPAC names of other alkenes also. Now if a particular alkene is having 2 double bond, so these alkenes will be named as alkadiene. As for example, this alkene, this is having 2 double bond, so total number of carbon 4. So instead of but, we will use term here buta 1,2-diene. Okay, the next is isomerism in alkenes. So alkenes are showing both structural and stereoisomerism. In structural isomerism, the first type is chain isomerism. So in chain isomerism, the difference in the chain in isomers. Okay, so the position of double bond will remain same, but the isomers will have different carbon chain or difference in carbon chain. For example, if we take molecular formula C4H8, so we can draw these 2 chain isomers for this molecular formula. So in the first but1-ene, this is the position of double bond. So when we are forming chain isomers, we are not going to disturb the position of this double bond. Okay, means double bond will always remain here only. Okay, in between these 2 carbon. So next, without disturbing the position of double bond, we just done a change in carbon chain. So 1 carbon is present at second position, so 2-methyl propene. So as you can see from here that these 2 isomers are having difference in carbon chain. So these are the chain isomers of each other. Next type of isomerism, position isomerism, and in this isomerism the position of functional will be different in isomers. So as I told you already that in alkenes double bond is present as functional group. So if we are taking a C4H8 again, so this molecular formula can show these 2 position isomers. In the first one, the position of this double bond at first carbon, and in the second one, the position of double bond is at second carbon. So first is but1-ene and the second isomer is but2-ene. Okay, then a next type of isomerism which is shown by alkenes, that is stereoisomerism, and in stereoisomerism geometrical isomerism is there, and in geometrical isomerism cis-trans isomerism is there. Okay, students. So in cis-trans isomerism, two types of isomers are formed in alkenes: cis isomer and trans isomer. Okay, so in cis isomer, similar groups are present in same side, and in trans, similar groups are present in opposite side. For example, butene is showing two geometrical isomer, butene. So this is butene. As you can see here that these two methyl group are present is this side only. So this will be cis form. And in the second structure, we just change the distribution of the groups. So in this structure, dissimilar groups are present in one side. So this is the trans form. Okay, students, cis-trans isomerism. The next heading is general method for preparation of alkenes. And first is by the partial reduction of alkynes. So in the presence of catalyst, we can reduce alkynes partially, and due to the partial reduction, alkynes will be converted in the form of alkenes. Okay, so reduction of alkynes in the presence of Lindar's catalyst produces cis-alkene, and reduction of alkynes with sodium and liquid ammonia produces trans-alkene. So you have to keep these 2 points in your mind, because by using Lindar's catalyst, cis-alkenes are produced, and with the help of sodium and liquid ammonia, trans-alkenes are produced. Okay, students. So Lindar's catalyst, palladium supported on barium sulfate, partially poisoned with quinoline. Okay, so palladium supported on BSO4, which is partially poisoned with quinoline. So in these conditions, this alkyne will be reduced partially, and due to the reduction, cis-alkene will form. And if we are going to use sodium and liquid ammonia, then in these conditions, after reduction, alkyne will be get converted in the form of trans-alkene. Okay, students. So this is the formation of alkane with the help of alkynes by their partial reduction. The next is from alkyl halides. So preparation of alkene from alkyl halide is a type of elimination reaction, and this elimination is known as beta elimination. This beta elimination is a type of dehydrohalogenation. So dehydrohalogenation means removal of hydrogen and halogen. This removal of hydrogen and halogen is known as beta elimination. Okay, so why this is known as beta elimination? Because the hydrogen which is removed is present at the adjacent carbon which is carrying halogen. Okay, so the central or alpha carbon which is carrying halogen, and the adjacent carbon will be beta, and the hydrogen atom is removed from beta carbon, and that is why this elimination is known as beta elimination. Okay, students, so this reaction is very important. As you can see with the help of this example, when bromoethane is reacted with alcoholic KOH, so here this alcoholic KOH is acting as dehydrohalogenating agent. So when alcoholic KOH is reacted under temperature with bromoethane, ethene is formed, and as a byproduct, potassium bromide and water is removed. So in this reaction, one hydrogen atom from this carbon and halogen atom from here is removed. Okay, students. So due to the removal of these two, one more bond will be formed here, which is shown here. So related alkene plus KBr plus H2O will form. For a given alkyl group, the ease of dehydrohalogenation is iodides, bromides, and chlorides. Okay, so if similar type of alkyl groups are present with different halogens, then iodides will be most reactive in that case, and chloride will be least reactive, because carbon iodine bond is having least bond energy. That is why most reactive in nature. So the tertiary alkyl iodides are most reactive and primary least reactive. Okay, then Sedgwick rule, very important rule, and according to this rule, if an alkyl halide can give two isomeric alkenes, the relative amounts of these alkenes is governed by Sedgwick rule. Okay, so how can this amount is governed? According to Sedgwick rule, the alkene which is more substituted will form in major amount, and less substituted alkene will form in lesser amount. Okay, so if more than one different type of alkenes can be formed after dehydrohalogenation of a particular alkyl halide, then in that case the more substituted alkene will form in major amount. Okay, according to Sedgwick rule. So which alkene will be more substituted? So the alkene in which doubly bonded carbon atoms are having comparatively less number of hydrogen atoms will be more substituted. Okay, so for example, from 2-bromobutane, after dehydrohalogenation, these two alkenes can be formed. One is but1-ene and second is but2-ene. So as you can see, with the help of these structures, the second alkene is more substituted. How can we say that this alkene is more substituted? Because the related doubly bonded carbon atoms here are having total 2 hydrogen atoms. So here 2 hydrogen atoms are there, but in this first one, these doubly bonded carbon atoms are having total 3 hydrogen atoms. So this is a less substituted alkene. More number of hydrogen atoms are there with the doubly bonded carbon atom. So major amount of this alkene will form. Okay, students, according to Sedgwick rule. Next preparation is from vicinal dihalides. So for the preparation of alkenes from vicinal dihalides, we use vicinal dihalides. And what are the vicinal dihalides? Such dihalides in which halogens are present at adjacent carbon. Okay, so 2 halogens are present at adjacent carbon. Such dihalides are known as vicinal dihalides. And when these vicinal dihalides are heated with zinc in the presence of methanol, then a related alkene is formed. For example, 1,2-dibromoethane is forming ethene plus zinc bromide. Okay, students. The next is from alcohols by acidic dehydration. So Alcohols also giving related alkenes after dehydration reaction. Okay, so dehydration is a removal of water. Okay, students. So when alcohol is heated in the presence of concentrated H2SO4 at around 440 Kelvin, then ethene is formed. When ethanol is heated, ethene is formed and water is removed as a byproduct. Okay, so when alcohol is heated in the presence of concentrated H2SO4, then related alkene is formed and water is removed. Okay, so from the conditions of above reactions, it is clear that the ease of dehydration of alcohol is tertiary the most easier and the primary is least easier. Okay, so as you can see with the help of these examples, so primary we are using 95% H2SO4 at 440 Kelvin. In the secondary 60% H2SO4 at 373 Kelvin, and for tertiary 30% H2SO4 in the 363 Kelvin temperature. So as we are shifting from primary to tertiary, the conditions are becoming more mild. Okay, so means ease of dehydration is from tertiary to primary sequence will be there. Okay, the next is Kolbe electrolytic method. So in this reaction we use potassium or sodium salt of dicarboxylic fatty acids. Okay, so dicarboxylic salt, sodium or potassium salt of dicarboxylic acids after electrolysis are forming related alkene at anode plus CO2, potassium hydroxide and hydrogen or sodium hydroxide as byproduct. Okay, so when we will use here potassium salt, potassium hydroxide will form, and when we will use sodium salt, sodium hydroxide will form. Remaining part will be remain same. For example, potassium succinate when electrolyzed, then at anode ethene is formed. Okay, so these are the preparation of alkenes. Thank you.